We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Ethan Bonner, Miami Dolphins corner, and we're actually going back to his college film, doing a little bit of a throwback breakdown here, because I never got to do his college breakdown, and I wanted to do this to take a look, because I looked over the whole UDFA class, and I kind of wanted to compare a UDFA from last year who made the team, like Bonner, started off on the practice squad, but then got elevated, and I think, you take a look at Bonner, and this is a guy that should make the team. I thought, after looking at his film compared to this UDFA DB class, Bonner was the best of the bunch. Again, I think you really like his combination of physical traits with the size, length, really good athleticism. Like, he's got more than, like, obviously we've heard that his talk about his speed, which he has great speed to recover, play on those vertical planes, but he also has good change of direction skills, burst. I've talked about it a lot. I actually think he should be a guy that maybe does multiple different positions for the Dolphins, does a little bit of cross training. I do think he can play corner at this level, but I also think he can play some safety. There were some problems with this game. I think at times he'll take like some false steps, stuff like that, and that can get him into trouble. But he actually does make up for it a lot with his athleticism. We even saw it at the NFL level in some of the games. Like, he would still take false steps. And he's a guy that can play press man. I've seen the press man stuff. He can also go out there, play zone, off man, do a bunch of different types of stuff. And he was actually a very successful gunner. Like, his film, if you watch the special teams film, he would just blow by one-on-ones as a gunner. So I think he makes the team personally. Guy that can play special teams for you for sure. And really, really enjoyed going back, watching the college film, and go down here at the bottom of the screen, one-on-one, playing some press man versus Oregon here. He actually had some good matchups in the Pac-12. He's willing to get physical at the line of scrimmage, and then he just has a good instinctive feel. He's playing top down here. He knows his leverage. He understands that usually when you're playing like high upfield shoulder like this, that the ball comes to the back shoulder, and he anticipates the break right there, goes back for it, gets physical. Sometimes we'll get a little bit over physical, over aggressive, but then feels that, makes a play through the catch point. He has the length, the size to make those types of plays too. And then he can also play, whether it's off man, here he's playing in cover 3. I like this zone turn. Look how fluid he is. I love the feet here, very quick feet. At times he will take those false steps, which, again, I think he'll take false steps, and then at times I think he could have better like body lean. So it's just a technique thing at times for him. Like, sometimes he'll have good technique. It's just inconsistency where I think he gets himself into trouble. But he still makes up for it. Here it's just beautiful. Look at this change of direction. He opens up his hips, which usually if you open up your hips, you have outside leverage like this. You're playing cover 3. And this guy's running, a hitch like this, a curl. This should be completed if the ball's out on time. But look how quickly he changes direction and then bursts down. Like, that never had a chance. And the guy was working away from him the whole time too. He's not like he like slowed down, but he was just so much more twitchy out of his break. A guy moves really, really well. And that's the stuff like at corner. He does a good job feeling the leverage. This guy running the dig here. He's zone turning again, playing some zone. Basically matched up on number 3. They throw it there. He has the ball skills to play through the hands over the top. Nice little hook and swat there too. Does it from like the opposite hand, which is nice. But just seeing him win in multiple different positions, like different coverage types, because then you go back and now he's in more of like a soft press here, which I like. We'll see some more press where he's like up and bump and running. Here's more of a soft press where he mirror motor techniques, gets back, he stays square, inches back right there. Maybe he could have been better with his footwork, but just stays clean. Gets over the top, another high upfield shoulder. He's very comfortable playing high upfield shoulder and then feeling the route breaks, coming back towards the quarterback. Very, very good job. I think showing like anticipatory skills combined with athleticism. I think you always have a chance. If you're a corner that has shown the anticipation skills and you have like high-end athleticism, you have a chance, I think, to translate really well to the next level. Here versus Washington, Jalen Polk. He's playing as like a deep defender here. This receiver gets over the top, and you can just see the speed. He opens up his hips, and then right here, he looks back. He peeks back. You can see that like he goes off the screen a little bit. He peeks back and loses the receiver. Not expecting them to throw the ball this late, deep down the field. But then look at the recovery to get back down there, make a play. And that's on Jalen Polk, who was a high second-round pick in this draft to the New England Patriots, actually. And thrown by Michael Penix Jr., who was drafted 8 overall. Just very, very excellent. Coming downhill, man, this guy has just a good feel for this stuff. We'll see the plays versus the run. Here's the reverse. He just follows this through. Eyes on the receiver, takes one step, starts working back. He just starts to chase it down. Sees that it's going to be like the reverse type action, and he just closes so fast. Look at the speed. To make this play, from this corner position when it's a reverse to the opposite side of the field is so impressive, like actually ridiculous. And these are the types of plays you see. Like obviously, he played this position. This is from the corner position. But these are the types of plays we see where like, yeah, this is something a safety could do with that closing speed, angles, making plays like that as a tackler. Also, special team stuff make me feel confident in his safety. And then like rolling down to the box, they don't give him the tight end to being the outside receiver here, so he gets down in the box. Basically plays as like a linebacker or a strong safety type and has to fill versus the run, and he can do that. He gets down, stays square, able to identify, feel the space opening up, get down before the tight end can cut him off, make that tackle. Very good job. These are the types of plays that makes me... This is why I want to go back and watch the college film, because we've seen the NFL film, and there's not a ton of it. That's why I feel like you can be even better, and it's only, this was only 1 year ago. He's only UDFA 1 year ago, so I still feel like you can get a good feel for him as a player from going back and watching the college stuff. And those types of plays are what make me feel like, oh, he can play some safety, cross-train, but he can also do corner. There's reps of him playing in the nickel and the slot at this level too. Here he basically gets to, matchup versus a tight end, which I like. Looks like, Stanford's running quarters, but he's really sitting on this, anticipating the route break. This is versus Michael Mayer, who's a very good player. I think he takes some false steps here. Like you can see, he kind of like stops his feet right there, takes a false step. Could have been better in transition, but he's so athletic that he's still able to explode and get back into his spot to make a play at the catch point. Very disruptive there. Love that type of stuff from Bonner. This is, it's always exciting to go back and watch the college film, especially after a player makes it and see, what happened. Because you go back and watch the college film and like, I can understand why, Bonner made the team. Even like, because he was injured through the preseason. He only got to play in the third preseason game. That's why they kind of kept him on the practice squad. And I think they got to keep him there. And then they elevated him. He saw his action, and now you can see why his skill set definitely translates to the next level. Because usually you find these level of athletes, but then sometimes they'll be like only linear athletes. Bonner's the type of guy that has the size, athleticism, but he also can change directions. He has burst. He has like the body control and balance. He's like a really good all-around athlete, which I think always gives you a chance, especially as a special teams guy. But then he also shows like competitiveness and some good instincts at times too, which I think helps him out. So to me, it was a little surprising he actually went undrafted after going back and watching his film. Here he is versus Troy Franklin, who was just drafted this past year, or this past draft, literally, like a month or two ago, to the Broncos. Good player, and Bonner just impressed again, playing through. I think he has a good feel for when to look and find the ball too. I think at times he'll shoot his wrong hand. I think it's a technique problem with him overall. Like it's not like terrible technique. It's just it could improve with the little details. And then just playing through, understand your positioning, good feel for where they're trying to throw the ball. If they're throwing the back shoulder, he turns back into the wide receiver to find the ball, not away from him. And he helped make another physical play at the catch point. Here's a play that I like because it's another press man, but this one's a little bit different. They're going vertical on him, and he peeks back because this time, he's on the low field shoulder. Like usually he was playing upfield shoulder. This one, he's like low field. He's almost even with him, which actually is probably not that great, but he turns away from the receiver, turns back to the QB to find the ball, which gets him caught again. Like, so better eye discipline could help him too. It's things that he kind of struggled with in college that are very teachable and you can learn and get better at. He has all the things that, it's hard to teach athleticism. It's hard to teach, anticipation skills. Some of those things just come really naturally. You can always get like slightly better, but like technique, those are things that you can always vastly improve upon. And it's not like he had like terrible technique all the time. But here he just gets caught out of position, but then he has the recovery speed to just get back and then play through the hands. Good ball skills. I wouldn't say he has like amazing ball skills, but he definitely has enough to make plays at the catch point. And it's like the length combined with the recovery speed there. And then here he is as a gunner on special teams. There was like multiple plays just like this where he just absolutely destroys the guy off the line with his speed. You can really get to see his speed here that Tiger was talking about, and he takes good angles. He's a good tackler. This type of thing definitely makes me feel better about his position making the team. Because if you look at it, like I think if you cross-train him, he has a very good shot at making the team. And I still think he does overall, just looking at the groups. It depends how he translates this new system. I do think he can play both man and zone, so I think that definitely helps him out. And then being a special teams guy, I wouldn't mind if he was the gunner with, Siren Neal. Those are kind of your two, say, your backup corners, but also very good special teams players. While players like, Kohu and Cam Smith will probably see more playing time, but then these guys can rotate in, and you can actually feel pretty decent about them too as players. But yeah, really good stuff from Bonner overall. Enjoy his college film. Love taking that sort of a retrospective look right there. Very much enjoy the game tape. I think he's better than all the UDFAs the Dolphins brought in this season. And I think he probably would have made the roster last year initially, not started in the practice squad if he actually played on the preseason games. But they knew since he didn't get much looks that they could probably hide him on the practice squad for a little bit. And now as a main roster guy, I would give his chances of making the main roster probably like 70% right now. We'll see, things look in training camp preseason. But he's a guy I think he's kind of on that bubble if you look at the DB room. But I feel better about him than some of the other players. Some guys are truly 50-50s. Some guys have a lower percentage chance, but I think Bonner is going to make the team, and for me, I'd start cross-training him at safety, given some looks there. So, but hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and get the